When was the last time that you were rejected by someone? Rejection is a very common pain we all go through, but it is a very deep suffering. All throughout our lives, we get rejected. It may be starting with your parents rejecting you for your younger siblings, your grandparents rejecting you for your parents, your friends rejecting you for someone else, your teachers rejecting you. It does not matter where it starts, but this deep pain of rejection becomes deeply embedded in a psyche. It is very rare of our parents or teachers or peer group to really make us understand that we are not to be blamed for the rejection, that we are not responsible for their feelings, their thought processes, their way of behaviors, their belief systems, which make them reject us. And as we are just helpless souls getting rejected and rejected and rejected, it creates a deep wound in our psyche. This wound is so deep that is almost like a wound which can never be healed. And when we grow up and we start having relationships, we are still carrying this energy of rejection within us. This energy of rejection, which has not allowed us to love ourselves, to honor ourselves, which has not allowed us to understand that rejection does not mean we are not important. Rejection does not mean that it is our fault. Rejection does not mean that we are not good enough. And so, we go into our relationships with these feelings inside our psyche of not being good enough, not being important enough, of not being smart enough, not being intelligent enough, not being good enough. And when we get rejected by our partners, that is the ultimate rejection. We have somehow survived the rejection from our parents, from our siblings, from our friends, from our relatives, from our peer groups. But it becomes very difficult to survive the rejection by the partner. And why is it so? It is because we give so much value to a partnership, be it romantic, be it a marriage partnership, society, movies, belief systems, mythology, stories that we read, novels that we read, movies that we listen to, all have programmed us to believe that the ultimate thing in life is a beautiful partnership, a love relationship. And if we have been rejected from this relationship, it means that our life has come to a zero. It means that we have nothing to live for. It means that we are completely broken and we are completely unimportant, not needed, not wanted, unlovable, unsmart. Every negative adjective that you can talk about is ours. And this rejection goes very deep, making a huge hole into our psyche, making us feel totally broken, totally lost, totally hampered and broken into pieces, as if our soul has been scattered and there's nothing left of us. It is really, really very deep, a pain which is very difficult to handle, very difficult to survive, because it feels as if our whole existence has been broken. It feels as if the means, the need for living has gone from our lives. It feels that everything is lost and we cannot bear the loneliness, we cannot bear the pain, we cannot bear the trauma. And it devastates us, breaks us, ruins us. We have given so much power to a relationship that we have forgotten to hold ourselves. We have forgotten to respect ourselves. We have forgotten to love ourselves. Yes, I know it's very traumatic to lose a relationship. And especially when you have been rejected in that relationship. It is very, very, very traumatic. But if you really honor yourself, if you really love yourself, don't you understand that someone rejecting you does not mean you are not important. Someone not wanting you in their lives does not mean that you are not lovable. Someone avoiding you does not mean that you are not attractive enough, that you are not important enough for anyone to want you in their lives. We have to understand something. We have to understand that everyone works according to their own psyche, according to their own wounds, according to their own traumas. Each one has their own background of trauma, own background of rejection, own background of hurt, own background of low self-esteem, low self-confidence, own belief systems, own thought patterns, own familial patterns which runs deep in their psyche. And it is not because they don't love you that they reject you. Sometimes they're afraid of too much love. I've seen people, when loved too much, get scared because they have never been loved from their childhood. And they don't know how to handle so much love. They don't know how to take care of themselves and take care of this person who is giving them so much, because they're not used to it. And so much love, so much care, frightens them, scares them, and they run away from this person. The person who is so important to them, the person who is making their life miraculous, who is making their life so beautiful, but they don't know how to handle this because they have never received love, because they have never given love to anyone, and they don't understand what is the sea of emotions that they are in, because they have never seen their parents exchange any deep emotions. They've never seen their friends exchange any deep emotions. And when they are put in this deep sea of emotions, they find themselves lost. And so they run away from the person who is giving it to them. They run away from the relationship. They reject the person who is giving so much to them. Because they're scared, they're frightened about something which is beyond their understanding, which is beyond their capacity to handle. Sometimes the person rejecting you is in their own trauma of low self-esteem, low self-confidence, and seeing you as a beautiful human being, full of confidence, full of joy, full of every positive quality that he or she has never seen. They are scared, they are frightened that they will not be able to handle life alongside this person who is so strong, who is so powerful, who is so beautiful, who is so talented, and their low self-esteem becomes so strong and so strong that they are scared. What is it? What is it that is troubling me so much? They don't understand, but this must they understand, that somewhere they are jealous of this being who's adding so much joy to their lives. And their low self-esteem, their insecurities, their low self-confidence make them go against this very person, because somewhere they are jealous of this confident, loving, wonderful person that they have in their lives. So you understand, my dear ones, rejection is not always about you. Rejection is often about the other person. Sometimes some persons are so lost in their own egoistic nature, so caught up in their own belief systems, in their own dramas, in their own thought processes, in what they need and they desire and they hope to have in their life, that they have no importance for the person who is giving so much love to their lives, who is giving so much joy to their lives. Because for some of these persons, their career may be supreme. For some of these persons, their ego may be supreme. For some of these persons, their belief system must be supreme. And in order to maintain their supremacy, they reject you. They dishonor you. They refuse to be in a relationship with you. So what you thought was your fault, what you thought was actually your not being important enough for anyone, is not the case. It is the other way around, my dear ones. It is totally the other way around. And if you can deeply reflect on my words, you will understand that the person who rejected you was maybe scared of you, was maybe jealous of you, was maybe of a different belief system than you, was maybe of a different culture than you, was maybe too caught up in their own lives to think about you. So dear ones, don't take this rejection to your heart, because the rejection is not for you. The rejection is for themselves, because they have rejected a part of themselves which was very important to them. And with time, with grace, they will realize what they have lost. but they will not be able to retrieve it because it will be a memory then. So whenever you doubt yourself, whenever you cry yourself to sleep, remember, it is not about them, it is about you. You need to love yourself, you need to honor yourself, and you need to understand that someone's rejection does not make you unlovable, does not make you unattractive, does not make you unimportant. It is just that they have a different story and you have a different story. And sometimes the stories don't match. Sometimes you cannot walk parallel to other person. You have to take a 90-degree turn so that your life can walk on better and much beautiful path. So think about yourself, think about your pain, and really let me know what you think in the comment section below. Is this rejection about you, or is this rejection about the other person? Thank you everyone. Thank you for being with me.